Now at 5, pleading guilty to neglect in the death of her 1-year-old daughter. The admissions Oakley Snow's mother made in the courtroom today.
Scattered showers and storms on radar right now, and a rainy, stormy pattern setting up. I'll explain in your forecast.
Investigating a former IU men's basketball team doctor. The nearly 900-page report finding Dr. Brad Bomba Sr. did not act in bad faith. More on that as you watch Live from Indy on 13 News.
Well, tonight we're learning the crimes a mother is confessing to following the death of her baby girl. And just hours ago, Oakley Snow's mom admitted to witnessing repeated abuse of her daughter by her boyfriend and said she did not try to get Oakley medical attention before her death.
Our Rich and I spent the afternoon in the courtroom as Madison Marshall pled guilty to neglect, and she also agreed to testify against her boyfriend, who now is facing murder charges in the little girl's death.
The plea deal calls for 24-year-old Madison Marshall to receive a 25-year prison sentence for her role in the death of her not quite 2-year-old daughter, Oakley Snow, in February 2023. Marshall admitted in court that her boyfriend at the time, Roan Waters, repeatedly abused Oakley inside a drug house on the south side of Indianapolis. Marshall admitted to hiding Oakley's injuries with makeup before she died.
Our primary goal is to hold those responsible who participated in the death of Oakley Snow and her disappearance. So to be able to get a conviction for Miss Marshall that holds her accountable for her role in Oakley Snow's death is important to the state, as well as the fact that now she can be a witness to help us in our continued prosecution.
Marshall admitted in court that she was in the house when Oakley suffered her fatal injury, and that she saw blood coming from Oakley's mouth, and that she as a mother did not seek medical attention for her daughter.
She is now an important witness in the state's case. She's obviously the one person who was there when these events occurred.
Marshall and Waters abandoned her even younger infant son and left town. 2 months later, after both were arrested, Marshall led investigators to Oakley's body in a dresser drawer in an abandoned house in rural Morgantown.
All evidence that we have indicates that they both played a role in the death of Oakley Snow, but I believe there is evidence that the majority of the physical abuse occurred at the hands of Roan Waters.
Waters was also in court Thursday. His murder trial was moved back about a month to June 9th. At the Marion County Community Justice Campus, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Marshall also admitted in court today that she and Waters were intoxicated on narcotics, including fentanyl, during much of the time of little Oakley's abuse and her death.
Developing tonight, we're getting our first look at a report from the law firm IU hired to investigate a former men's basketball team doctor. So the firm found Dr. Brad Bomba Sr. conducted exams in, quote, a clinically appropriate manner. The investigation followed a lawsuit filed by 5 former players alleging Dr. Bomba Sr. performed unnecessary rectal exams during athletic physicals. Part of the lawsuit, which names the IU Board of Trustees and former athletic trainer Tim Garl, alleges IU staff knew about the exams and knew they were problematic, but did not stop them. The report states the staff who admitted to knowing about the exams did not object to them or raise concerns with the university. The report goes on to say, rather, each individual with whom we spoke with professed their belief that the digital rectal exams were not sexual in nature. So we have reached out to the attorneys for the former basketball players for a response. They say the report does not deny or refute Bomba Sr.'s actions and say the question of whether it was for sexual gratification should be decided by a jury, not the law firm hired by the university.
And new tonight at 5 o'clock, ESPN is reporting that the Pacers front office made the decision that Tyrese Haliburton's dad will not be at the team games, home or away, for the foreseeable future.
The decision follows this moment you see right here on your screen. It was a tense moment between Haliburton's dad and Milwaukee Bucks player Giannis Antetokounmpo. 13 News is also reaching out to the Pacers for their comment on this decision. So the team is now preparing for their first game against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference semifinals Sunday.
Right now, we are tracking the weather and the impact of some storms that are popping up around the area at this hour.
Yeah, not reaching alert levels, but we'll keep a close eye. We've got a couple pulsing up just southwest of Indianapolis that will interrupt some outdoor plans, and it's just always a good thing to keep in mind. If you hear thunder, it's time to move those outdoor activities inside. Don't wait to see the lightning. Thunder is your cue. And obviously check the radar before those outdoor plans this evening. You can see, for the most part, impacting the western half of the state right now. We'll dive into Marion County. North of Marion County, we've got a cell over Sheridan. We've got a couple in and around Greencastle. We've got another one just northwest of Crawfordsville. The strongest storm right now with some lightning. Well, actually, the lightning, we have lost that at this point, but it does have a history of lightning coming out of Jasonville. This is moving northeast, so heads up Cloverdale, southern Putnam County into Greencastle. And if it would hold together down the road, may impact the western sections of Hendricks County. So something we're going to keep an eye on this evening. Scattered downpours, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. It's warm, it's muggy. Overall weather pattern stays soggy and stormy at times. You do get some dry time early Friday ahead of more rain chances tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. How about the first big weekend of the month of May? I'll have that look ahead in a few minutes.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. And right now we're making it easy for you to keep tracking this impact of this weather.
Yeah, just check out WTHR Plus. That's where you can find live Doppler 13 radar streaming as well as in-depth forecasts and our extended weather coverage.
All you have to do is download WTHR Plus on your TV. It is free.
Well, new details tonight about a shooting involving Lawrence police. New court documents say officers shot Courtney Wilkins.
Those documents say an officer believes that she pointed a gun toward them. Our Alex Almanza talked with Lawrence police on why officers firing weapons they say is the last option.
Lawrence police tell me what started as a domestic disturbance involving a woman pointing a gun at her mother quickly turned into a mental health crisis.
According to court documents, it started after Courtney Wilkins was in her mother's neighbor's yard with a weed trimmer. The documents say neighbors told Wilkins they didn't want her doing their yard work. One of the neighbors says they asked Wilkins' mother to come out and get her. Then documents say Wilkins pointed a gun at her mother. Neighbors called 911. A department spokesperson says after officers arrived, they saw Wilkins yelling and holding a dog in one arm and a gun in the other. Police say Wilkins then allegedly shot and killed the dog. Officers claim she then raised the gun toward her head, fired a shot, and missed. According to court documents, a Lawrence police officer then fired one shot, hitting Wilkins in the shoulder. Another officer tased her. These documents say the officer who shot Wilkins told detectives it looked like Wilkins pointed the gun at him. Lawrence police say officers go through training to try to de-escalate situations without using lethal force.
We go kind of a step above that also with our firearms training. We do shoot, no shoot scenarios at our range. And then we also use a simulator, which will simulate a mental health run like this as well.
Lawrence police are using chaplains to periodically check on people with mental health issues.
He'll check on them. It's not only when they call the police or a family member calls the police. He'll check on them, periodically before it gets to where the police are called.
Court documents claim Wilkins' mother told police her daughter is bipolar and suffers from paranoid schizophrenia. In those documents, Wilkins' mother claims her daughter is medicated, but has been using illegal drugs and alcohol to self-medicate. In Lawrence, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
At last check, police say that Wilkins was in stable condition while receiving care at a local hospital.
Tonight, Metro Police are trying to figure out the motives behind two deadly shootings.
Police say the most recent was first reported as a crash about 3 hours ago. This happened at an apartment complex near Crawfordsville Road and North Girls School Road. On the west side, that's near I-465, which takes you to Speedway.
Officers tell us that's where they found a man in a car who'd been shot and killed. They have not released any information about a possible suspect. And Metro Police are also trying to figure out who shot and killed a man early this morning. It happened near Madison Avenue and East Stop 11 Road. That's on the south side of Indianapolis. Metro Police officers say they found a man who'd been shot when they arrived around 12:30 this morning. Medics then took him to the hospital in critical condition, but he later died. Officers told us they've gotten calls to the apartments near where he was shot in the past. They have not released any other information about what happened. Tonight, a new proposal in front of the Indiana High School Athletic Association could allow schools to team up for sports.
A real game changer for some of the smaller schools. Samantha Johnson has the parameters and what is next for this new idea.
Here in Randolph County, it was the principal of Union Junior Senior High School who submitted this proposal to the IHSAA. He tells me it's all about making sure all students have access to opportunities.
I mean, sometimes we have a softball team, sometimes we do not.
Principal Ryan Chittister is also the basketball coach for the Union Rockets.
One year here at Union, we had a team with 6 players. I coach a girls team here. We had 6 players for the season. It's not about winning games or anything like that. It's just about providing opportunities.
He's talking about his new proposal to the IHSAA. It would allow 2 member schools to team up for team sports if the schools have less than 300 students and have a lack of coaches, programs, or facilities. IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig tells me neighboring states are leading the way for co-ops.
We're actually in the minority when it comes to our Midwest counterparts.
So now it's up to the IHSAA Board of Directors to vote on the proposal come Monday. In Randolph County, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Now, if the board passes the proposal, schools would apply to co-op by September 1st. Then the reclassifications will be ready for the 26-27 school year. Tonight is the first night of the 500 Festival Mini Marathon Expo.
And if you've got to pick up your packet today or tomorrow, well, keep in mind the expo is now at Lucas Oil Stadium. So here's a live look at it. This is the first year the festival's held it at the home of the Colts, and it has been at the convention center in the past.
That's right. The expo is open until 8 o'clock tonight. A little bit longer hours tomorrow. Opens at 10 o'clock in the morning.
There you go. All right, and then tens of thousands of people will be taking part in the mini Saturday morning.
Yeah, they're estimated 20,000 people, and we've got what you need to know when it comes to the expo, the race times, and the road closures. It all comes together. We have it for you on our website. To get there, just scan this QR code. It'll take you to WTHR.com/SeenOn13. That's where you can find more about this story.
It all comes together. There you go. And of course, you can watch the mini right here on Channel 13 Saturday morning during sunrise, as well as WTHR Plus.
There is a lot that doesn't make it into a state budget. In Indiana, that includes money to test a backlog of rape kits.
The harm some advocates say this decision could cause. That's new at 5:30.
But first, here at 5, we know the Indiana Fever, one of the hottest teams, the hottest team in the WNBA.
Yeah, the stats prove it. Plus, a shakeup in the Trump administration.
The new decision to remove the National Security Advisor and the job he's taking on now.